This is a Fox News alert. Baltimore City's top cop just got fired. Moments ago, Baltimore's Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake firing Police Commissioner Anthony Batts. Now, he's led the city's police department through those vicious riots and looting in April that erupted after Freddie Gray died in police custody. The bombshell news today breaking as Baltimore's murder rate skyrockets. And a short time ago, the city's mayor and new interim police commissioner speaking to the media.
Moments ago, I thanked Police Commissioner Anthony Batts for his service to Baltimore City, and I informed him that I would be making a change in the leadership of the Baltimore City Police Department. Recent events have placed an intense focus on our police leadership, distracting many from what needs to be our main focus, the fight against crime. So we need a change. This was not an easy decision, but it is one that is in the best interest of the people of Baltimore. The people of Baltimore deserve better. The brave men and women of our department who put their lives on the line every day to make our city safer deserve better, and we're going to get better. Today, I am naming Deputy Commissioner Kevin Davis as interim commissioner.
My focuses for the future are really pretty simple. It's all about the crime fight, and it's all about the relationship with our community. And the relationship with our community needs to be one of service.
Fox DC's Lauren DeMarco is live in Baltimore. Lauren.
All right, well, Greta, you said it. The murder rate in Baltimore has been skyrocketing. 41 homicides in the month of May alone, making it the deadliest month in decades. And the mayor says that that is the reason that she has fired the police commissioner, Anthony Batts. In fact, Batts himself apologized to the police force back in May, admitting that he did put the officers in harm's way. Now, we're standing at the intersection of Pennsylvania and North Avenues. You can see behind me the CVS still boarded up. It was burned in the looting and remains closed, as do hundreds of businesses. This neighborhood here really the hardest hit. Today, the police union, the Fraternal Order of Police in Baltimore, released a 32-page review stating that the riots, arson, and looting following the death of Freddie Gray in April were preventable, that the city's leadership hindered the response. The review said officers claimed they lacked basic riot equipment, training, and direction from leaders during all of that disorder. It says that they were ordered not to engage the protesters, instead to hold the line, and about 160 officers were hurt in the rioting following Freddie Gray's funeral. The mayor's office today issued a response to that union review, calling it a trumped-up political document full of baseless accusations, finger-pointing, and personal attacks. But then, hours later, she held this news conference saying that she was replacing the police commissioner, Anthony Batts. Now, Mayor Stephanie Rawlings-Blake said that the union's review did not play a role in her decision. She says it's because of the urgent need to stop this surge in violence that the city has been seeing following the riots. She did name Deputy Commissioner Kevin Davis as interim commissioner. Now, I've been talking with people here on the street, just asking them what they think about all of this. Some say they think that Anthony Batts is a scapegoat, that the mayor's trying to protect herself, and that they're worried about the city's image. That's what most people here are saying, although I did speak with a few, one woman in particular, who said, you know, we need something to change here. The violence continues to escalate. So whatever the reasoning behind it, maybe this will make a difference. They're just hoping that things here in Baltimore improve. Greta?
Lauren, thank you. And just eligible for the police commissioner was fired. Tension in the Baltimore Police Department totally boiling over. The Fraternal Order of Police releasing that scathing new report, blasting the department for a lack of leadership. And Gene Ryan is president of Baltimore's FOP. He joins us on the phone. Good evening, Lieutenant.
How are you, Greta?
I'm very well. Well, the mayor says that your report is just trumped up, baseless personal attacks, but then she goes off and fires the police chief. What do you think?
Well, what I think is we have honest and we have officers that were there and their testimony, and I think ours is factual information. So I'm not going to criticize the mayor. I think somewhere moving forward, since she did appoint a new interim commissioner, that we need to somewhere along the lines work together. And I'm actually pretty happy that she did appoint him as the interim commissioner, because we do have a lot of qualified personnel inside our department, but he has a lot of experience that he's bringing to the table, and I think he's one of the best choices at this point in time.
Well, the order that's sort of the subject of a lot of controversy is that the police were told not to engage protesters but hold the line. What does that mean, and who's the one who issued that?
Well, our investigation is revealing that it's coming from the top, and, he is the top cop, and that was the commissioner.
So it didn't come from the mayor. So that didn't come from the mayor?
Not as far as I know. No, it didn't.
Okay. And what does it mean?
As far as her one statement that she made into the press, which is on the front page, give them the space, to destroy and do what they want. If that's not a stand down order, I don't know what is.
What does not to engage protesters but hold the line mean? Does that mean don't arrest anybody but just stand there?
Yes. And in a lot of instances, in certain areas, they were getting pelted by cinder blocks. And when they broke into certain auto parts stores, they were getting whatever they stole out of the stores. They were getting thrown. That was getting thrown at them. And when they advanced, they moved back. They regrouped, and the protesters, or I'm sorry, they're called rioters as far as I'm concerned. They were picking up their ammunition, and then they were they did it again, and they threw it back at the officers, and they had to stand there and take it.
Well, when I heard that, I've been sort of struggling with that. I've heard that before, not to engage the protesters, rioters, but hold the line. In that instance, what's the point of the police officers even being there, just to be able to have a target for someone to throw something at if you can't do anything?
Right. And the police officers are never supposed to be sitting ducks. What should have happened if holding the line is one thing, and for safety reasons. But if you're sitting there and you're getting pummeled by the bricks and rocks and whatever else they're throwing at them, you either have to retreat or you have to advance. There's only two decisions there. You have to move in, you take over, you make arrests, and you end the problem right then and there. Or you retreat, and they keep coming at you. Then sooner or later you have to do something. What should have been done, they should have moved in, taken control of the situation, and ended the whole thing to begin with. Well, because I was asked today, if we were to control Saturday, would Monday ever happen? I say absolutely not. We didn't handle Saturday, the 25th of April, the way it should have been handled.
I guess what's sort of troubling here is the whole idea is that the cops were the sitting ducks, told not to do anything, which I think is just huge. Obviously it was a problem. Over 130 cops were injured. That seems foolish. What I don't understand fully is where the order came from. And then I have the mayor says today that the reason she fired the top cop was not because of anything, but because of 41 homicides in the month of May. But the problem is the 41 homicides in the month of May, the police don't prevent homicides. They're there to make the arrests and the investigations later. So she's firing them not for the riots, but for the homicides in May.
Well, that was her reasoning. I'll leave that up to the mayor. Me personally, it should have been a combination of things. And I don't know if you got a copy of our after action review. There was a lot of things that weren't done. I didn't call for him to stand down or vote to no confidence. What I called for was improvement. So what happened back in April and the beginning of May should never happen again, because the citizens of Baltimore should never have to put up with what we put up with back then. There was so much, millions of dollars of property damage. Citizens were injured. Police officers were injured. That should never happen again. And nothing has been done to move forward to prevent that from happening again.
Lieutenant, thank you very much for joining us, and I hope now that things will be better for the rank and file in the police department and also for the people in the community. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
And on the record, we'll continue to follow this breaking news. We're bringing more from Baltimore as we get it. And